This is actual information. We start off in this wonderful journey called life. It's a noun, it's a pronoun. But all this doesn't really matter because we just tumble through a constant blunder of wonder in this inconsistent, consistent, malicious cycle of wonder, drama and lust, with the side of, we must try harder. This is put on us at the early age of premature untrust, but even so we still seek and value the word of the wise to rush and bust, through life with our own sights set on what could be ours. Rarely do we ever stop to think about what can actually help those in need. We sit in our high towers, looking down on those less fortunate than us. Then we wonder why we are in the predicament we always place ourselves in. Race, religion, politician, it doesn't matter what your mission or position. The world revolves around you, rotates just for your need to succeed. I'm speaking at a higher level. Higher learning is what we bleed. But I maintain the words I have spoken already in this long and unconcerning concerned judgment I put upon you and me. We are just one in one together, we see the same things happening. It all depends on whose tower we're in. So I will start the middle of this how I started the beginning. Actual information, and what does this mean for you and me and our nation? National, or geographical? Actually, let's call this a world's philosophy from a philosopher who has 40 years to back up so many hard times and so many raw moments. I look at this life as a long learning concerning journey, which I feel I am still at the beginning. I feel if you are reading this and something is getting through to some of you on the other side of this technological gateway to either make this better for the world or maybe even some kind of slave trade-off, stuck to your digital devices while people in higher places take control of what's yours and your voice, your body. Maybe they had a bad day and they take it out on you in a tremendous, unrelentless, crucially somewhat hypnotic way, that it takes one man to die at the hands of few to bring the many together to try to break through these actual laws that were placed in motion hundreds of years ago. Why do we follow the same old tactics we followed so long ago? This is not a rap lit, this is not a poem. This is just my heart in rotating motion, like dropped in a deep ocean or a blender, or whatever makes you feel the way you do when you see certain things you know that shouldn't be seen in today's world. But isn't that just the wheels turning for the people who runs the world round and round? Because every time I turn around I see another victim, or victims, getting hurt, getting trampled, getting deserted, getting put in a back of a hearse, just to see another loved one lost to this pain that's inside our brother, our sister, our species that share the same notion that we all bleed. Some succeed, some are in need, but most, even the ones in the high tower, need to be put in check because left unattended for too long. They start to formulate a plot that might not answer questions that so few know, and the ones that do say so little, to mention just a small percentage of the people who slipped through the cracks of justice, people putting handcuffs thrown away like rotting fruit. Take a minute to understand what I am trying to say, and understand that it is you who needs to change. This world is broken. We're going to need a lot more than some glue and some tape to fix it. We're going to need an open mind and an empathetic person to see through the truth that is our world in today's society. This is my letter to the people who matter, which I need to stop and remind you, all the ones in power, that the answer is every human being, every living thing. How will we move on from this point forward? I believe at this point it's up for grabs. In the next 100 years we'll either go to the wonderful or just add to the tab. Believe me, when I started this concept of achieving, some part of me to be less stressed and think I can succeed, my anxiety, I must admit I was very ignorant. So many fights, so many fits I had with myself. But through not so small amount of time and enough recognition and humble beginnings, I started realizing maybe it's not me that is triggering these events that put me in a spiraling hell of torment. Just maybe it's the world that is out of order. I see things today I could never have thought of would be happening. In today's world, so many years apart from my start, or what you may like to call your beginning on this earth. Because as far as I know and as far as I can tell, we are the only intelligent species on this planet that can build up a arsenal, nuclear killing machine dropped from a country regime, just to kill, and wound, annihilate the innocent, with no regards to the malevolent power that which is yours. And at the same time we can heal the ill, and even in this so very futuristic time, we can heal the people who need to be helped, instead of just say we should just deal that person to be dealt with through the ways of our wicked wealth. We can imagine a place where we can go to get the advice we so desperately need, to get through our very deceiving or receding day, depending on the poison you might be relying on to get you through the week or work day. I say this not to be like a know-it-all, but it's hard to fathom what could be done from sitting where I sit from. but that is neither here nor there. That is far from what this information foundation started from. I of all people would like to wish a better promise for the next 100 years to come, of which I would like to call a spectacular celebration to myself. 40 years as I said, and I would like to spread some kind of wisdom to the younger generations that have a ways to go. And for the people ahead, maybe look back and see when there was a time that you were ignorant to the situation that you received as non-threatening. In this deceiving world that is now in play, maybe you have the power to change it in any sort of way. But I ask you not as a person, not as an onlooker, not even as a human being. I ask you to look back at your youth, as a common denominator in this world of ones and zeros, and please add it up and to see where it will equal to. Because believe me and you, it scares the hell out of me each and every day. I wake up and see that this democracy or Republican, I just see Republic, Kant and Dima, crazy, didn't forget about the liberal. I also see a word familiar, liberal is liable. I think it's about time we start thinking about change, and not something you give to a stranger who happens to be in your way, this and that and so, this such and such. It's too much, I'm just stressed to the point of breaking my thought process, but what good would that do? This is life, it's not supposed to be hard, no matter what you have been told from the get-go, no matter what you hear in the movies, or from somebody just randomly having a fit or just don't know when or how to quit. So I will submit this like I always do, but with no jokes, no bottom line, no smile of mine, or a paradoxical crazy unconcluded diluted text-to-speech funny bone line to boot. I would just like to thank the people that do, and hope the people that don't take this actual information, and start making way for the people who want to turn the next corner and hopefully save this human evolution planetary situation, because when the next big thing comes shaken, I would hope we have some open minds and some clear eyes, and even though it might paralyze you, I know deep down in my bones you'll have the strength to fight through. This was a testament to humans and to the planet and what we could achieve in the upcoming years. Sincerely, Jimmy James. Much love, much respect, and like always, take care of yourselves and most of all one another.